Next up is somebody who I assume will perhaps defend Facebook and many other things. She has my dream job. I only do trend spotting because I failed at filmmaking. I'm hoping there's a chance for me by engaging with Hanna Sköld, writer and director at Tangram Film, talking about crowdsourcing, filmmaking, perhaps the future. Warm welcome.
Thank you. Every time when I am afraid of something, I think there is a great opportunity going on. And every time I reached a closed door, I think there's something really important going on. I'm Hanna Sköld at Tangram Film, and I work with participatory storytelling in a project called Granny's Dancing on the Table. And first I'd like to talk about my previous project called Nasty Old People, which inspired me to start working with audience participation. And 1 year ago, I released my first feature, Nasty Old People, on the front page of the Pirate Bay. Yes, works. This feature was released with a Creative Commons license, and it was financed with a private bank loan of 10,000 euros, and we were many people who worked for free, and this also gave us the opportunity to do whatever we wanted with the movie. And the reason I took a bank loan to make a movie was that I was afraid to lose my creative energy and the fire that I had to just go ahead and do the movie. So I just thought that, okay, I don't want to sit and wait for someone else to decide whether this movie should be done or not. I just want to go ahead and do it. So, what happened? Well, first I want to say that I think file sharing is an amazing technology because it brings people together and creates a direct link between the artists and the audience, but also between people from around the globe. And Creative Commons is an alternative to copyright with which you can decide what people are allowed to do with a piece of art. The license that we choose for Nasty Old People allows people to spread and remix the movie, but not to use commercially. So, after we put it up on the front page of the Pirate Bay, after 3 days, my blog had been visited by people from 113 countries. We quickly reached a number of downloads of 50,000, and after that we couldn't count anymore because the torrent spread so fast to other sites. The subtitles that we released in English is now translated into 17 different languages by users on the Pirate Bay. Blogs all around the world wrote about the movie, and the first live screening that was ever organized by file sharers happened in Vladivostok. And I got this email from someone just writing, I want to inform you about the screening of Nasty Old People in Vladivostok tonight. And when I found out, I was like, okay, I opened my map book and checked, and I realized that Vladivostok is kind of as far away from Sweden as you can get. So this was, of course, a truly magical moment for me. And I was like, what's happening? And people continue to organize live screenings over the world. We got cinema distribution in Ukraine because a guy downloaded the movie and contacted a friend of him who worked at the cinema, who contacted a distributor, who finally contacted me. So I went down there, and we had the greatest screenings ever, actually. It was really crowded, and people stood up in the cinema. So all this was kind of self-organized. People invented the distribution and made it happen, and I didn't spend one single dollar on advertising, promoting, posters to get the movie out there. So, what about the money? The question that people keep asking me. And we put up a PayPal account on my blog and on the Facebook page and asked people to help us with the bank loan. We told them how the movie was created, and people actually donated money. Today, the bank loan of 10,000 euros is paid through donations from the crowd. Some people paid a lot of money, some people a little bit less. And you can maybe think that 10,000 euros is not that much money, and it isn't, not when you're going to make a movie. But I think it's amazing that those pirates who just want everything for free actually paid 10,000 euro to watch a movie that they could have watched for free. So, this was of course an amazing journey for me in many ways, but I think the most overwhelming experience was the interaction with the audience. I was contacted by so many people from around the world who wrote emails, who asked, what can I do, how can I help, do you need translation, where do I put in money? And two particular letters that I received really stayed in my head. And one of them was a guy who wrote that he felt that he was part of a peace movement when he seeded the movie and spread the word. And the other guy said that he didn't have any money right now, but he really wanted to do something. So he sent a picture of a piece of art that he had created. And I was like, okay, beautiful. And I asked him, why do you send me this picture? And then he said that he wanted to do something. He just wanted to be part of this movement of sharing. So for me, it felt like I came in contact with something that was so much bigger than my movie, or whether people liked my movie or not, or wanted to spend money on it or not. It was an enormous longing to be part, to take part, to interact, to share. And I was thinking that, okay, this is the key. I mean, this is what matters now. It's not if you have the best 3D effects or the best marketing or even the greatest story, even though, I mean, I'm a writer, that hurts a little. But I think it's whether you can create a space where people feel needed, that they feel that they are part of something, that they matter. When we talk about sustainable development, we used to talk about that it's important to not just look at the economical value of things, the economical perspectives, but also remember the cultural, social, and environmental perspectives. And I mean, of course, I also have to pay my rent, but I strongly believe that if I am aware of the cultural and social perspective of audience participation, I will also get more money in the end. I don't know exactly how. I don't have exactly concept to like this, and it will come money out on the other side, but I'm sure that this is the way it will go in the future. And many times today, art is a one-way communication. Someone creates something for someone else to watch and to judge upon. But I'm interested in what happens when art goes from being a product that you can consume to being a process that facilitates meetings between people. And when the art becomes the creative process instead of just being the creative result. So, to explore this, we have started a new project called Granny's Dancing on the Table. It's also a movie. The old people theme still there. in this project, we are trying to engage the audience to be part of the process already from the beginning and to contribute in many ways, creatively, practically, socially, and economically. We are making a transmedia game. And transmedia is, shortly, when you use many different platforms to tell a story. We will use Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, live events, books, newspapers. And transmedia is also when the audience interacts with the story. And I will tell you just shortly what the story is about. It's about to find out what a girl who grows up in the woods in Sweden have to do with an earthquake that happened 100 years ago in Messina, Sicily. And this girl, she grows up isolated and runs away from home and doesn't know anything about the social codes in the society. And the people who are engaged in this project will go into this world of stories, and they will find Granny's diary. Granny's diary will be full of predictions referring to a future catastrophe, and their mission will be to find Amy because she can prevent the earthquake. But they will soon realize that their personal choices and actions will affect the outcome of the story. And this is one part of our participatory storytelling. The other part is that the audience will take part in the creation of the movie. And this game will be released as 5 episodes, and they will be connected to one of the phases of the movie production, such as music or set design. And part of this game is that the people will upload music, sound, pictures, video clips, which we can use in the movie. And in the final result, they will see traces of their own interaction. It's also when they contribute, they will get rewarded, so they will earn what we will call granny dollars. And granny dollars is the in-game currency, kind of like Farm Wheels coins or something, which they get when they contribute in any way, and they can use their granny dollars in the game again. They can also buy granny dollars if they want to contribute to the financing of the movie. So, yes, we have started on Facebook to engage people to contribute to the script writing process. We try to engage them to share personal stories, thoughts, and ideas, which we can use when we write the script. And I ask different questions, like, for instance, the main character, Amy, she uses imaginary friends to survive, and I ask if someone has experience of something like this. And here we see Sue from Japan talking about how she uses imaginary friends on her travels to handle her everyday life. And she even shows sketches from her sketchbook to illustrate her fantasies. And this contribution, on one hand, it gives me great input to the script. I sometimes write new scenes or see a connection between different scenes that I haven't seen before. But I'm also interested in what happens when we create a space where people can share their personal stories, where we can go deeper into the experience that we all carry, when we start to talk like this with each other. I mean, I hope that it will increase the interest for the themes of the movie, but I also hope that it will help us to continue to talk about difficult things, to talk about what really matters in life, and thereby create a greater and deeper understanding for each other as humans for real. And I mean, of course, it's also a little bit scary for me because I, as most writers, are used to hide what I write until it's finished, and I don't want anyone to see until it's good enough. But I feel that when we do it like this, and when I share my thoughts this early, and other people share their thoughts, it becomes a community where I feel safe. So it feels like we create together and we base it on our experiences and it becomes our story. And I think it's really important when we do things like this that we are aware of or open for the uncontrollable, the unexpected things to happen. When we released Nasty Old People, I didn't have a clue of what turns it would take. And since there were no real frames or limits, there was a space for people to make anything happen. And I think that when we do it like this, there will be an opportunity for people to take part for real and invent new stories and new ways of telling them and producing them and distributing them. And with the possibilities of internet and social media, and when the world becomes so small that we can interact so closely, I hope that people will use their personal skills and experiences and stories to create something that we have never seen before. Finally, I would love to work with Creative Commons again for the next project. Right now, my mission is to try to convince financiers that Creative Commons is a good idea and that it's not a conflict between getting financing and to use Creative Commons, because I believe that if we protect something, it might run away, but if we give it away for free and trust people's solidarity, I think we will get so much back, both social and cultural, but also economically. Thank you.
Thank you, Hanna. Come, let's talk a little bit. I'm fascinated. I have to see your movie. Where can I see it tonight?
You can download it, Nasty Old People, from the Pirate Bay still. It's still up there.
And then the PayPal account?
The PayPal account is still up there too.
All right.
Yes.
Interesting. It's, Alf talked about the binariness of companies, you know, men, women, so on, so on.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a very binary debate, right? Either, you know, downloading free-for-all, no quality, or Michael Bay movies, it seems like.
Yeah.
And you've taken us on a journey in between. Where do you, your future, what do you plan to do? I mean, your next movie we know now about, but,
Yeah.
but beyond that, I mean, how would you like to work?
I mean, my goal, one of my goals with this project is to try to not look, say, one or the other, but to say both, to make people, I mean, the pirates are fans of the movies and the movie makers, and the movie makers and the producers, they have become enemies in a way. And I would really love to see that there is no conflict. I mean, we have to come together again and walk together. And this is, I mean, to shorten the distance between the producer and the consumer.
You're a Gandhi, in essence, of movie making.
Huh?
You're a Gandhi, in essence. Right? But to get people to just take what's separate,
yes,
put it together and say,
I want
guys.
peace. Yes.
Girls. Yeah, it sounds like that. It's wonderful. Facebook, we had a rampant attack on Facebook, worst thing ever, yet you've used it to create art.
Yes, of course it's about how we use Facebook. I mean, if you just have the page and if it's just a one-way communication where you write, I'm doing this about yourself and get as many fans as possible, I mean, then it's no use, really. But, I mean, I think the great thing is if we can start to use Facebook, which has become this quick way of communication, just start talk about things that really matters, then...
It's a tool, so just because some people play the piano badly doesn't mean that there's something wrong with the piano. Okay,
yeah.
I like that. Well, Hanna, I just need to quote one of the people who text message. They said, you make the world better to remind us that we have feelings, and I like that, which is a beautiful quote. Thank you so much for coming to Good Morning 2020.
Thank you.
Let's see what Anna-Lena Schiller have been doing for you over here. Oh,
Wow.
This is what we used to have, right? It was called celluloid. Probably wouldn't be invented today.
Wow.
Flammable.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. It'll
Thank
be
you so
online
much.
for people to watch.
Yes. Yes.
Perhaps not. It's not just Alf Rehn, but Hanna that we will say. In 10 years, we were there. We saw it, as she accepts in her acceptance speech. Think of us then, Hanna.